What is up, bros? Josh here, and today's video is all about the newest version of the Leone, the Tier 6 Italian destroyer. And this is still work in progress, so stats are subject to change, and I kind of hope they continue to. Now, the Leone got some buffs and some changes. The buffs recently were smoke charges, were changed. The entire smoke was changed from this kind of Italian one to now the USN smoke, which is actually a pretty nice buff. So the smoke lasts for a long time, which is fantastic. And the shell velocity was changed from 750 meters per second to 850 meters per second, so much lower. You definitely saw with the Leone as your shells went through that they were very lofty, and it was kind of almost uncomfortable. Basically, your effective range was very, very short. Now they're lower, but still, it's a lofty shell. You can definitely tell. And really, I want this ship to be something. And if you look on that, you see the ship. It has a lot of guns, has 8 shells going out, and it's still it's one of those ships I think looks good on paper, but then when you play it, you just don't know what you're supposed to do. Tier 6 is a pretty competitive tier now. You have stuff like the Monahan, the Farragut, the T-61. There's a lot of pretty solid ships at this tier, and to have a destroyer that just kind of is overall really mediocre, I'm confused at what this thing is supposed to do. If you look at what's on paper, you go 8 shells going out, good, decent reload. If you find a DD, you're going to absolutely smash it. Long smoke for good farming. You have fast firing torps, but then when you actually play that, you realize that, man, the ship is still really slow, and it's kind of sluggish, and the torps, they reload fast and they go really far, but they're also really slow, and there's only 2 sets of 2. And this game itself that I'm showing you, I try to get you guys some good games, kind of show the potential of this ship, but I'm having trouble really getting one, and it just kind of shows that this ship still, it just looks better on paper than it actually is. And I'm kind of bummed because I want Italian ships to be kind of cool, especially Italian DDs. I like the idea of fast. We've seen that with the battleships. The battleships tend to be fast. The cruisers are fast. But awkwardly, the destroyer is really slow, and it doesn't really make much sense to me. Tier 6 is pretty dang competitive, and you want something that up tiers pretty well, but still, I'm having a hard time finding anything for the Leone to do effectively well, even at Tier 6. Now, if you do find a DD, you're basically going to beat every destroyer at Tier 6. Now, that is the upside. You have a lot of guns. It kind of reminds you of the playstyle of the Ochotnik. That's kind of what I'm kind of calling it, almost the Italian battle canoe, of whatever you want to really call it, because there's a lot of guns and they hit pretty dang hard. But you're one of the slowest destroyers at Tier 6 still after this patch. I would love to see like a fast DD that's good at hunting destroyers. I would like to see that and be the Italian destroyer. But now you can kind of see like it's better now at farming damage. Lots of shells going out. The shell arc is better, but still outside of any effective range. It's going to be hard to hit a lot of, you know, it's still going to be hard to hit ships, I would say, outside 10 kilometers at a consistent rate. And it's not like the ship brings, you know, with how the CV change is going, it's not like it brings a lot of AA that is kind of, you know, really that good. But still, it's still confusing to me. And one, it's just, you want kind of ships that stand out or bring a fun play style. I'm not having fun playing this ship. I'm really not. Every time I play this, I would go, man, I'd rather have the Farragut. Even the Farragut has less guns, but the guns, I just feel like you can get into more situations that you're more effective. And as you can see, the Colorado, one of the slowest Tier 7 battleships, is just going to blaze right past my slow torpedoes. Now, I could take torpedo accelerator, and that could get the 12-kilometer torps down. You do have some of the longest torpedoes at Tier 6, but when they're slow, they're not super useful. Now, you can kind of see here, you are better at farming damage, but to me, that doesn't seem like a really effective play. As long as you can sit and smoke, and your long-time smoke and no one torps your smoke, you can be pretty effective. And if you randomly run into a destroyer, as you see right here, you do good alpha damage on your guns, but it's finding a situation where you can actually use this. And I don't want to like have this be a giant roast of the Leone, especially in this version, but again, it's still work in progress, so things are subject to change. But I'm just bored playing this ship, and I like Tier 6 destroyers. I love playing the T-61, I love playing the Farragut, I love playing the Monahan, I love playing these destroyers. this is pretty comparable to what this ship is kind of supposed to do with those DDs. It's supposed to be kind of a hybrid. You have good guns, you have decent torpedoes, usable torpedoes, but I don't really see a reason to play that. Now, in the original version, I mean, okay, there's a 12-kilometer shell. 12-kilometer shot. See how lofty that shell still is, even with 100 more meters per second on the trajectory velocity. That it's still pretty unusable at a long range. I would still say within 10 kilometers is going to be your effective range on this. Although we have farmed out some damage, you know, as we slowly shoot down maybe a plane or two here and there, but it's not like you're this AA thing. I'm trying to find an identity for this ship, and that's one thing that's making it kind of hard on me, is it just doesn't do anything really. It doesn't excel. It seems like what it should excel at is hunting down destroyers and being this fantastic DD hunter, but when nearly every other DD at this tier is faster than you, it's really hard to hunt stuff down when you can't catch up to it. And so the Leon just continues to be kind of this giant question mark, better on paper than it is in reality. And I really hope that they kind of add something like maybe a permanent speed boost would be kind of cool. But if you're just going to add a permanent speed boost, then why not just make the ship faster itself? I know I've talked about maybe making the ship itself just be faster, lower detection. I thought maybe like tier 5 it would do a tad better too, and then kind of be like a counterpart. Like it's basically an Italian Ochotnik at tier 6, but the Ochotnik is more fun to play. So it's still kind of interesting. So again, the changes were to USN smoke, so the smoke does last a lot longer. So if you can get into situations where you can farm, sure, you're gonna farm some damage, but it's just not exciting. If I wanted to be in a farming situation, at tier 6 especially, the Perth is going to do it better. If I wanted to play a tier 6 DD, I would rather just play the Farragut. I would rather play the Monahan. I'd rather play T61. You know, I'd rather play these other destroyers just because they're more fun to play. Now, you will actually see me shout out to, what is it, the Baron that helped me hit the torps? Or, one of these guys helped me hit the torps. You know, it's always good to punish a battleship on the 1 in 10 line. We can all agree on that. So, the luck stick. Now, one thing, the torps do hit hard, which is kind of nice. They do hit relatively hard. It's just getting hits with them. And shout out to the Baron for slowing them down, because a nice little 30k salvo right there. So fast firing torps, lots of shells going out, and in the end, it's just still a giant snooze fest for me. So I hope this is gonna be a pretty quick video on this, because it's an updated version of this ship, but still the same premise has stayed the same, and it's just, I'm completely just underwhelmed. Now the AP is a lot better on this. We kind of still stuck with HE because it's just addicting to shoot that many shells of HE when it comes to it. A decent fire chance, blah blah blah. But again, I just kind of label this ship as something that's better on paper than it is in reality. So again, smoking changed USN increase in initial shell velocity from 750 to 850, and increase maximum AP shell damage from 2000 to 2100. So in the end, I'm still completely underwhelmed of this ship. I could see this potentially being maybe a free XP ship or something, but in my mind right now, I don't see how they could charge money for it. It lacks identity. It's trying to be something, but it doesn't achieve that. And still, this is the second version we've gotten so far. So hopefully we see a third version, and hopefully that will bring something unique to the play. Right now, it's just this awkward, slow farming destroyer that is trying to be something that just can't. But anyways, didn't want this to be a total roast of the ship. It has potential, but it just isn't there right now. And I could see it being awesome in the future, more like like I said, like a tier 6 Ochotnik, but the Italian version. But man, it needs some love to kind of get there, well, before I even kind of recommend this ship. Right now, it is not recommended at all, and on the lower end of the tier 6 DDs. But anyways, guys, just wanted to do a quick little video on the newest version of the Leon. It's getting there, but still is lacking. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.